Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. So in this video we're gonna have chapter 1154 of One Piece. I to the Shuka. I can't even die. That's funny because in my own story I'm kind of tackling that kind of um, thematic, so interesting. But yeah, these days I'm just so obsessed with my own writing that sure I read and stuff, but mostly I'm reading psychology, philosophy, and everything rather than just fiction. So Unichal Yamato at the Holy Nuri Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 38. At the grave of a hero born in West Blue and brought up in Ringo. This is very funny because I never thought that would be a day that I would be numb to One Piece and any kind of manga or something because I'm just so obsessed with my own mission that everything else is just falling apart. So, right. 63 years ago, Elbaf's passed. Yoru. Okay, Oda is kind of tightening up the whole story to the present day, which is nice. Funny enough, I'm doing one of these in my story as well, which has like literally seven layers of timeline, and I'm still like expanding on it because the funny thing is, the more you write, the more you find to write, which is fantastic. But yeah, Jarl, the oldest man in the present day, lost his partner. Cascade Beard Joro. Cascade. You're such a yeah, Oda. Okay, was struck down dead. Yeah, with this guy, this cow, Big Mom, by the hands of a certain young girl. I love Oda is literally being mysterious with even like people we know. I really love the childish aspect of Oda. Her name was Charlotte Linden, as if we didn't know. A mere human, yet she left a large part of a giant village in ruins. Yeah. I'm more curious what was that thick, dark lightning. She would later go on to become an emperor, earning the epithet Big Mom. Yeah. I really love that Oda is literally committing to his own mythology and hyping up his own kind of mythology as if he needs to. But yeah, that same year, Elbaf faced a string of tragedies. It was calamity after calamity, sudden fires, windstorm, and of course, everyone is gonna write it on Loki. And bitter cold waves devastated the crops. The abnormal weather also brought fishing to a halt. Oda is tackling a lot of weather changes. Maybe it's kind of his kind of end game that the Void Century would be kind of our version of global warming. I do think Oda is kind of more than usual story building and world building obsessed with the weather patterns. And this is getting more and more through the later stages of the story. But yeah, this once magnificent land had fallen into famine. Am I recording? I am. Okay. Now, do you see this is all that child's doing? This land was cursed because you all failed to kill it immediately. Okay, this is the queen, yeah. No, surely it's just a coincidence. Yeah, he's staring at me. Prince Loki. Loki is so cute. Take it away. Don't ever let that monster near me again. Okay, okay. So instead of this is surprising actually. Instead of Oda leaving him in the underground, he was born and then thrown to the underground, but now the secret was out, they couldn't kill him. Hmm, I don't know how I feel about that kind of storytelling. Sure, it surprises you, but it has a lot of like loose ends. That is, the mother surely could have found a way to kill the child, but okay, an accident. You could literally write it off as okay, there are so many calamities happening. He died too. That's basically it. But see where Oda takes this. Prince Loki, you have to keep away from your mother's room. Okay, I understand. Oda is literally um, making your emotional resonance level for Loki go higher because not only he was rejected by his mother. What's worse is he has been being rejected over and over again, which leaves more of a kind of deeper mark on the reader. Okay, I get it. Go at those monstrous eyes. If left unchecked, his curse will grow till it brings about this nation's collapse. Okay. I'm hungry. Sorry, sweetie. That was the last bit of bread that we had. We're going reaving. We could easily steal what we need from the humans. Ah, okay, this is the tension. Ain't that how it's always been in Elbaf history? Don't be ridiculous. A senseless raid on them would only bring shame to Elbaf. That's the law of the land now. Okay. Those bastards from Hunter's village are attacking. What are they? It seems they hit other village too. Okay, this is the as I called it like the first moment I saw Harold in the flashback was yeah. This is basically like a Civil War LinkedIn thing, and the fact he was actually assassinated as well is basically like LinkedIn being rewritten. Internal giant struggles weren't unheard of, but this time, yeah, during desperate times, but these incidents only resulted in making the period more severe and bloody. Who is this guy? The country was engulfed in chaos and misery. I heard a rumor about that princeling born in the castle. Is this Rux? Is this Rux crew? Because the horns are giving me Onigashima vibe. Was cursed, and the bitterness festered as spirits broke. That's nice poetry. Hey, wait. Okay. Hey, Hajruddin, your brother doomed this country. Why? With his cursor. As his elder brother, you'll take responsibility as a sacrifice. The actual fact they're not gonna kill Loki, so they're gonna kill him. And the mother is literally like, what the actual fuck I do here? Yeah, basically, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't you know my son's a cutie who's gonna be the world's longest living man? That's a weird ass sentence. So Hajruddin is gonna outlive all the giants. So is Oda This guy looks fine. This is LinkedIn. Yeah, I think this is LinkedIn. Lincoln. Harold. Longest living man. That's interesting. Oda is kind of manipulating age and timelines in Elbaf, which is fine. But okay, this is armament hotkey. Hmm. Can it, Ira? You're nothing but an outsider who's seduced Harold. Go to hell. I love this country. Okay, I love the feisty spirit she got. She's kind of reminding me of one of the caricatures a long time ago I read about like the Native Americans, and her design kind of is leaning towards that because the whole storyline is literally like Lincoln meets Christopher Columbus coming to America. That's basically Harold's character. But yeah, don't you lay a finger on my mom. Don't you dare finger my mom. I'm gonna flatten you, King Haraludor. Okay, my guy is literally morphing to Kaido. Daddy! Okay, oh, that is literally like over tearing everything. Okay. Brothers, you must not fight amongst each other. The king. Okay. Word reached me about Loki's birth and the recent famine. I was building. Okay. I need to skim through this. Okay, gotcha. And this is literally like a Garp tough love style, so that's nice. Oda is being consistent. Real graciously, yeah. Okay, okay. Who saved them? It was the Queen. Okay, yeah, I saw this coming. She is literally being represented as this fortune teller. So she denounced her son with bitter hatred until her final anguished breath. Yeah. Oda has something against these. If I can. Oh shit! That's why they. Okay, this is literally reminding me of the Mushoku Tensei guy that he was supposed to be this Baba Yaga, this boogeyman, and he had this gem on his head that they hid under bandages. Interesting. Um, I'm curious what the Gojo, the eye covering thing, is doing to people because everybody and their mama to be doing that shit. Maybe I do that in my story as well because, funny enough, most people do things out of trend and out of he is doing is working, so he's doing it and he's working. I'm gonna do it as well because it works. I do things as okay, there is a reason that is working. I'm gonna amplify that reason and apply it to my own story because the reason is the interesting part to me. And that's the most fascinating thing about storytelling for me, rather than okay, it's working, it's selling, so sell. But yeah, I need to figure out the bandaged eyes myth. And the moment I find the reason, I need to amplify that and implement that in my own stories. Naturally, the people believed her. Okay. Loki, my son. Okay. I love how Oda is kind of growing in um, telling with nuances because this is such a like this tells like 50 billion stories in one regard. The half face that you see, but you don't fully see him, is as if he is hiding a bit of his pain. And all of these are just artistic instinct that after 30 years of writing, of course, you're gonna just fly with these. But yeah, he was born with a condition that affects his eyes. I understand, what a pity. Well, he could see, but he can't even smile for me. I guess it makes sense he did just lose his mother. At only a few months old, Loki had given up love on love, okay. And this is gonna tie to Lola's story. Interesting. You sure you have a lot of scrapes? No. Harold's diplomacy soon started to bear fruit. Okay, this is basically Lincoln. Okay. And Elba's winter finally came to a close. Branch Route 1. That's right, I'll help build it, okay? Restored fractured nation. Okay, this is basically like, I don't want to say it like every single day, but this is basically, okay. As Loki's personal steward. Oh, okay. You're so cute when you're worried. Yeah, basically. I don't like Oda is literally just making her so dumb, but maybe that's unrealized fetish that Oda has. Someone so dumb that's just pure love. No brain, just love. Okay. 56 years ago, Gerald's house. You were at the scene of the reverie incident, Harold. Yeah, my friend was one of the invited kings. He smuggled me in as one of his guards. Smuggled a giant. Okay, hold on. If that murder hadn't happened, I might have been exposed. I could ask the question again. If you were caught, all this would be the least of your worries. Haven't you heard the tale of the Galerial Warhammer Company? Great Hammer Battle Lord. Okay, okay. Okay, Oda is expanding the myth. Maybe this ties to the theory, the age-old theory that Rux was married to one of the celestial dragons and they killed her, so he went nuts. But maybe this is the murder. But yeah, they're that gruff troop of. Because the way Oda tells his stories is that they could have easily killed Rux's bride and put it on rocks. That's basically the whole story of One Piece. That it seems one way, it is the other way. So I thought they were just a myth. No, they existed. They really did travel far and wide, sending letters back to Elbaf. I received the final letters myself. They've all been captured. Okay, this another group? Bruh, okay. Oh, that's not gonna end this story. Definitely not. Can you believe it? Over 100 warriors were taken prisoner, including ancient giants and Torres Ateniga. You think the world government was responsible? There is no doubt that they once faced a great enemy. Okay, this is leading to rocks. My rocks sensors are tingling because how I see things is that there's a reason Oda gave us rocks in Elbaf, and that is a Chekhov's gun that hasn't been paid fully and paid off. So either it was just to draw parallels between Loki and Luffy, even in the name, but it's more than that. The fascination of storytelling is that the more you tell, the more you write, the more you have imagination, the more and deeper, the more layered and deeper you go. Even like literally, um, I started one of my stories with one character because it has never been done. It was just one character. And the deeper I went with just one character, it was like so fascinating that one character could carry the whole fucking story. And the next story I started doing, it started with two characters, and that bled into the whole mythological thing that is going on. And it's like each layer is bleeding more and more layers, not just for sake of complexity, but also to it just shows you the more you hone your skill. I've been writing like for 17 years, and every single fucking day I'm literally out Picassoing Picasso. Picasso did like 50,000 pieces in his lifetime in 70 years, and I'm already at like 17,000 pieces. So you start to grow into this instinctual kind of instinctive um, layering that you don't even realize, okay, this is so complex, but for you it makes so much sense that you just enjoy adding more and more layers. And imagine Oda is doing this with like double almost the time I'm doing this, which is literally 30 years. I'm doing this like for 17 years. Oda is doing this for like 30 years. Jesus. But yeah. However, they sank deep into the ocean a certain point in history, to be blunt. Okay, this is the certain point in history is gonna be white century, so there's probably different. Okay, bro, I'm itching to write my next piece, so let's wrap this up. These are just rumors, but I also a story about frozen army of a giant somewhere. Okay, Oda is literally going deep with like 50 layers, not 50, but with like 4 layers of mythology into one. Okay. It seems our people are regarded as enemies of the larger world. Clearly, but I've already resolved to face any hurdle. Prince Loki, I knew you cursed and killed my little sister. Okay. The horse of fortune died. The sage was in okay, realm of the dead. Okay, they're coming. Close the doors. Get the children inside. Okay, before present day. The villagers drew close in terms of trade and identity. Identity? Okay, that's a nice word I like. That's basically my whole current book. Stood together, beat 'em up, guys. Okay, this is about world's strongest country. We don't need weaklings here. Interesting. Loki, driven by scorn, unleashed chaos onto Elbaf. Okay, so this is basically nature against nurture. My dream is to join hands with many other countries around the planet. This is gonna tie into Luffy's dream as well. For the giant race to be welcome all over the giant grand world. Okay. King Carol, so cool. I'm curious when he's gonna literally rip his. Okay, this is rocks, right? Yeah. Hey, Loki. Okay. Dad went through hell to rebuild this village. Huh? You think you got to call my father Dad? I don't get why everyone respects him. He's dumb for trying to play nice with those human insects. Okay, Loki. Why should I take shadow person? Don't get cocky just because you're big. Being cocky is my right. I'm the prince. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so he's basically overcompensating over the love he never had. That's basically Oda's message. Okay, got it. That actually has kind of psychological backing to it. That there is this book called Reinvent Life that goes deep on schemas, and they call it to for marketability sake, life traps, which is cringe, but basically they are, you have nothing, you overcompensate with other things. For instance, someone who doesn't have love and affection in childhood, they become arrogant, they become if I can they date around, they don't commit, they don't do anything, basically that's, you didn't have enough of something, so you pour something else into it. And that's another fascinating story because everyone has a reason to go forward, and everyone has something they don't have. Someone is lacking money, someone is lacking love, someone is lacking health. That's basically the human condition. And everyone is overcompensating with something. And most of the successful people are overcompensating over people not seeing their genius live. Like fucking Picasso was 25 years old, screaming to people he was a genius. And because that identity was repeated so much and so many times with congruency with his kind of inner belief, he became a genius because he was ignored. His art was ignored and everything. That's basically the Eminem story, the fucking Alex Hormozy story. Everyone who has become anything is basically that. And people who don't overcompensate, they stay mediocre. So because I wrote this interesting story that is just one of a story that this is like 8 to 9 people going to a robbery, and everyone is itching to get to the bank. One of them is kind of questioning the establishment, making robbery as a act of rebelliousness. The other one is doing it for the money. The other one is doing it because people don't believe in him. Everyone is overcompensating for everything, and none of them is right. At the end of the day, you go to the bank, you steal, and you're a thief. If you are doing it for hunger, for whatever the reason you're doing it, is at the end of the day, you're just doing the same thing everyone else is doing. But the twist of the whole thing was that the driver suddenly stops, and I'm ruining the story and like every actual like storytelling aspect of the whole thing, but the driver stops because he has no fucking reason. He doesn't do it out of spite, out of owing a friend a favor, out of grandiose artistic love affair with opening vaults and whatever. He's just there. And that's the main point, that everyone is doing something for a reason, and the most of the time is that reason is a lack. Most of the, I'm literally like studying like crazy this successful people. Most of them are like starving to fucking death. And even like there is this guy Pavlov, and he got a in digestion, Nobel Prize in digestion. And my guy was literally starving off of bread and tea. That's the irony of life. People are two categories: people who have not had enough of something when it was necessary, like our Loki guy here, or if you want a real life kind of example for it, other than Picasso or everything, literally today, Charles Munger lost his kid over money and became the wealthiest man ever to exist because his inner fire was that no matter how much amount of money, how many industries, states, and everything you're gonna have, it's not gonna replace the moment you had the need for the money and you didn't have it, you know? So you're literally wired to chase what you didn't have and you overcompensate for it, thinking it's gonna make you whole, but it doesn't, you know? So that's basically it. And the whole Loki story is literally that. He didn't have affection, he didn't understand love, so he's just doing everything else to you're beating up Harrodin, yeah, to compensate for the lack he doesn't understand that he has, you know. So that's basically what I'm saying. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Don't call him a prince. Loki spread pain and destruction, but nothing he did. Okay. See, that's basically what I said. I haven't read the chapter before or whatever. I'm just saying the obvious, stating the obvious. That's basically it. You're wired. You want what you don't have. That's why scarcity is one of pillars of human condition and human drive. So I don't know, my 2 or 10 people watching this are gonna be okay. Rox is here. I can't even die. Yeah. So he's basically attacking people to be punished to die. No, snooze. Um. Okay. Oh shit! I'm going overboard with this shit. Okay, we need to get to the ending and be okay. I don't know my demographic of people watching this, but it's literally just basic like human thing. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, we finally get. I didn't think we would get rocks revealed, but Oda is rushing shit, so. Okay, his hair is gonna be blue. Definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be Buggy's dad, so yeah. This is sick paneling though. From the above, as if like someone is spying on them. This shit is so fire. Right. I'm not gonna read the rest of it. Rakasatati is a baka. Okay, that's Shiki. That's Nugate. And okay. Okay, Shiki is Wano citizen. Okay, this is so sick. This panel is one of my favorite panels. This literally is why I was very fascinated by Kagurabachi, because the spatial manipulation of that kind of thing is so fire. Yeah. I need to as soon as possible like get an artist to actually do my own manga series, because the stories are uh, at best, and this is not ego talk. I've consumed more than Oda has consumed to write his stories and everyone else writing, but and my pattern recognition is like off the chart. And yeah, let's not talk about me much, as if people are gonna see or care, or future captain of the father of Emperor Blackbeard. Okay, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. The teeth. Father. Hmm. Okay. Then Blackbeard and Buggy are brothers because this guy is related to Buggy. This is not even Cope. It's literally just how the story is gonna make sense. But right, right. So yeah, Emu is not the final villain. That was obvious. But one of the prominent theories is that Blackbeard is gonna. Okay, it's ending. Is gonna eat Emu's devil fruit as his third devil fruit, which is gonna be interesting. But my own theory is that Emu wasn't even in the picture. Emu was birthed into the One Piece world due to Oda's fascination with Game of Thrones. That's basically it. Like I even in my own story, I had the whole subplot of another character because I started doing marketing and I wanted to practice my marketing in the lens of this actual marketing genius character. That character didn't exist before I did marketing. So, yeah, that's basically it. But the eyes are interesting. The design is kind of growing on me, but yeah. Okay, the title is gonna be Blackbeard and Buggy are brothers, and yeah, yeah. Hopefully, we're not gonna. Please give me a break week, bro, because I need to write. I don't need to consume Oda's story. I need to build my own empire. But Itudi Shuka, not bad, not bad. This Blackbeard duel is interesting, but Loki and everything else going on is just like at this point is like okay, I already literally called this whole um, subplot in my own story, even in a one-off, that everyone has a reason and everyone is overcompensating for everything for something, and that's basically it. But yup, that's about it until the next one. Peace.